Hey guys, how you going? Back for another video. So today's video, coil packs. Yeah, they're looking pretty dirty, pretty rusted. See the chips there on the coil where the paint's come off. Well, I've made a bit of progress since my last video. Basically through the week. Let's get this cover off. Doing a bit more painting, so you know, cover back on. What I did through the week was basically I split the loom, fixed the whole loom. So basically put all new plugs on the air valve, idle air valve, and the other air conditioning valve at the back here. I forget the name of it. It doesn't seem to sink in for some reason. Anyway, all new silicons on all my for the valves. Put the intake pipes back in, manifolds on, all tightened down to spec. New fuel lines. Repainted the fuel dampener and fuel regulator, so they're both nice and painted again, look nice and clean. I split the loom to move the PTU, so I think I said last time I had the Series 1 PTU. I found it, I've put it back in. Just trying to work out where to mount it. I don't want to do it at the front. I've seen heaps of people put it up here next to the intake. On the side down here, I can't say I like that. It's open to water off the road, even when you got the kick panel in. It doesn't seem to me like a suitable place. I'm honestly thinking about making a bracket up and mounting it A, on top of the coil, or B, on top of this other wiring loom bracket. Obviously I can remove this one, it's not connected. I think that was for the auto trans, which is no longer in the car. So I'm thinking I might make a bracket up and actually mount it here as a permanent home, neaten up the cabling. Yeah, let me know your thoughts if you've got anywhere different to put it. I mean, I was even considering extending the loom and putting it up behind the battery where you can't even see the bloody thing. I mean, the only thing I thought about that was obviously the heat off the turbos and the exhaust manifold is going to come up here a bit more. That was the only thing putting me off about mounting it there. But hey, look, made a fair bit of progress. All new vacuum hoses. Mounted all those. I've pretty much left all the EGR solenoids, the AIV solenoids all disconnected. None of them are actually plumbed up. I'm going to start the car without it and see how it runs. From everything I've read, it's not meant to make any difference whatsoever. So if that's the case, I will completely remove all these solenoids and get that crap out of the engine bay. Got a little bit of sorting out to do with a couple of the connectors here off the loom, because I removed all these brackets off the side and the old air rails and all the rest of it. Obviously I need to find a new home for these. I probably will end up cable tying them all together, possibly even cable tying them to the back of the intake here underneath where you can't see them. At least I know they're there, and then it looks clean. So I've got about 6 more plugs on the way from Concept Z. Hopefully they're here this coming week. I would imagine maybe by Wednesday. I'm in Adelaide, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I'm chuffed. They've shut down Adelaide for the next 6 days due to COVID, which is, you know, I was absolutely chuffed when they said that. I was like, wicked, I've been really needing a break. I haven't had any holidays this year, and I was like, straight away my thoughts were, I can come home and work on the car. So anyway, so all of that's ready to go back. I've painted the accelerator cable bracket as well, because I went to put that back on and went, that looks shit. So even the coils, I went to put the coil packs in, and they look awful. Against all the fresh paint, these just they look out of place. I'll show you what I mean. This one's probably one of the better ones. I think that's just a bit of dirt on top, but they stand out like sore thumbs already. You know, look at the colour difference. So, you know, it just doesn't even look as bad on camera. But here, looking at it, it's the first thing I look at. It's like, why is that old and everything else is fresh? So, anyway, what I decided to do, I was going to paint them satin black, and then I thought, nah, bugger that. I'm going same colour as the valve covers. I'm going Mazda Soul Red, baby. So what I did was cleaned them all up. I've removed these little brackets which go on the front, which actually attach the coil to the front of the manifold. These bolt onto the coil like so. So that goes on there. These screw down, and beautiful. Anyway, I been cleaning them up. I did think about painting them black, and then I was like, you know, what for? I think a little bit more red highlight will do the motor good. So I opted out for Mazda Soul Red. This is first coat, and it was a very light coat, mind you. So I don't have plastic primer. I didn't get a chance to get it before everything went to hell here. So I was lucky to get there and just get a bit more paint, and then I did buy a bit more satin black, and then I thought, nah, I'm not doing them satin. So didn't think about plastic primer at the time. It is nylon, I believe. So what I did was scuff it up with Scotch-Brite, clean the crap out of it with Prepsol, bit of rust on top. This is a good example of why I'm painting them, if I can get my camera to focus. I cleaned that one down a bit, removed a lot of the paint. The rust was 10 times worse, so going to clean that up a touch more, and then just give it a light dust. So mate's a pro painter, and he told me, if I don't have plastic primer, just dust the paint on. So the first coat you do, don't wet it up whatsoever, just a light dust, and it'll still grab to the plastic. So make sure you get it spotless, light dusting, it'll still hold. So that's what I did, and it seems to have grabbed pretty well. There's no parting or separating in the paint, so it's looking pretty good so far. I mean, that's the bottom anyway, but you know, I think it's going to look beautiful. It's going to look fresh, so that's where I'm at. I might make a bit more to this video, but I'm going to stop it here for a second, and I'm going to continue cleaning coils, which is a pretty crappy job. Even all these screws, I mean, 4 screws per coil pack, 6 coils, 14, 36. Yeah, there's a few bolts to do again. Bolts are a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie, they're just fiddly. I wouldn't even mind, if I could go somewhere, I'd probably get some the old gold anodized bolts, like what I've got elsewhere, to whack back in the coils. Yeah, so something like that. You know, I don't have the right size, but I may consider replacing those just with some nice goldies. I think it will look pretty nice against the red, because red and gold goes together like, you know, cheese and bread. So anyway, leave it there for a sec. Thanks, guys. Alright, so might be a little hard to hear me because I've got a respirator on, but here's me, you know, knock up rack. So I've got a bit of conduit inside of a vacuum cleaner bowl that I found in the shed. Look, it's not perfect, but it will do the job. Anyway, all the coil packs and coil pack brackets, all painted in Mazda Soul Red. This is the first coat of, or the undercoat, so the real metallic stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you could see what I could see, there's bits of metallic floating all through the shed. Hence the car cover's back on. I'll try and get a little bit more light on it so the camera does it a little bit more justice. So it doesn't look bad at the moment. I mean, it will definitely look better once I put this next coat on it. You can see there. Yeah, it's got a good amount of metallic in it. Once I get the top coat on and some clear, these will look beautiful. So another, little highlight to the, let me try and focus the camera. Another highlight to, the black manifold. I think it would have looked a little plain in black, to be honest. So what the hell? I mean, I've painted everything else. Why not, eh? All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to let this flash off. I want to get out of the shed so I can have a drink and get out of this respirator. They're not the, not the most fun to wear all the time. So anyway, that's a little bit more that I've done on the car. I'm hoping once this is painted, I've got to obviously wait a good 24 hours before I reassemble these. This paint, it flashes off very quickly. So this is actually only in a can, but it is a 2-pack. So they're actually test samples that I got. So they were a test paint. So that's the 41V. That's the first Mazda Soul Red. That's not the colour I've chosen for the car. But I mean, I had it left over, so I may as well use it. I chose, the other one is 46V. So that's the latest Mazda Soul Red. The actual first base coat is gold. With this brand, it's gold. And then the top coat is very similar to this, but it also has clear in it. So it is both systems are a 2-paint or 2-layered paint candy. So they are a bit more work to do. I mean, you got this color and then you got to get the next coat of the top coat is you got to get it pretty even, because if you don't, I mean, even with the samples that I did, one of the samples that I did on these cards, you probably won't be able to see it on camera, but there is a dark spot in the middle of this, like a tiger stripe. Basically, I mean, it is hard to see if you don't know what you're looking for, but I could see it and I was like, okay, this is going to be very interesting having a crack. I've never painted a candy before. I've painted base colours, but a candy, it's going to be challenging, I think. Hopefully I don't stuff it up. If I do, what's the worst going to happen? I have to sand it off and start again or get someone else to do it. I'm going to have a crack at it. So I believe that's the main thing, is to give everything a go. Give it your best shot. Even if you can't, maybe you won't get it right the first time, but hey, how else do you learn? Yeah, I mean, everything that I've learned is from trial and error. It's cleared up a bit now. So, just give everything a go, guys. Instead of paying someone to do it, I mean, like, if you got the money, well, and you want to pay someone, no worries, keep the economy going. But, I like to do things. I like, if someone looks at this and they go, that looks freaking awesome, it makes you feel good. You can take credit for it. So, anyway, I'll wait until I do the next coat and I'll come back. So I'll pause it here and I'll see you soon.